from Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the defending AFC Eastern champion Buffalo Bills against the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. This is Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Don Meredith looking for a good one tonight. And this ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Datsun, who invite you to see all the exciting new 1982 Datsun cars and trucks at your Datsun dealer today. And by Seiko and your authority Seiko dealer. This plaque is a sign you can trust to get the best of Seiko. And by Lanier Business Products. When typing problems pile up, the solution is an easy one. The new Easy One word processor from Lanier.
Giff, how important is this game? Look at the standings. First, the AFC East. Buffalo must win to hang close to Miami and ward off the onrushing Jets. And in the NFC East, Dallas comes off a big victory against Philadelphia last week, but now Philadelphia, in the wake of its rout of St. Louis, has a half-game edge. Dallas wants to win to be back in a tie. That's the way it is. And, of course, Dallas has the great weapon, number 33, Tony Dorsett, Don Meredith's favorite man.
Yeah, it would have been awfully nice to have old Tony around in those early 60s. Wouldn't that have been fun? He's had a terrific year. You can see the stats there. Very close to his 5th straight 1,000-yard year. And on the other side, you got another one, Howard. This is a guy that's proved that Rookie of the Year a year ago. Joe Cribbs certainly deserved that particular honor. He's had a great year.
And it was the Giff who said Cribbs would never make it. Giff?
Oh, direct quote. Joe Cribbs coming off a fantastic game last week against Cleveland down on the field. Buffalo has won the toss. They'll receive, dropping deep, Byron Franklin, the young rookie. Back there with him, Rob Riddick, recently activated. He's number 40. Byron Franklin is number 85. Raphael Septien set to kick off for Dallas. We're underway. Important game for both ball clubs. Septien bangs it deep. This will be Byron Franklin, the youngster from Auburn. He's hit at the 18, sprawls up to the 20-yard line, where we'll see the offensive unit moving on to the field, led by Joe Ferguson, now in his 9th year, having a good season. He has good outside help in Frank Lewis and Jerry Butler. A lot of similarities to these two ball clubs. You could say that Frank Lewis represents the moves underneath of Preston Pearson of the Dallas Cowboys, while Jerry Butler represents the speed of Tony Hill. In any event, two of the finest teams in the NFL today, meeting here in Irving, Texas. First offensive play for the Bills coming up. Joe Cribbs is the workhorse. He will carry the ball. The bulk of the time for Buffalo. He has also turned into a very gifted receiver. Cribbs, right side. Conrad Dober out in front. Cribbs turns back and runs into the pursuit. You'll hear the roar of the partisan crowd as Cribbs is held to a yard gain. John Dutton and Bob Brunig defensively there for Dallas.
All right, you look at the Dallas defensive line. That's the key to this game. Stripped of all frills, all analysis. If Buffalo can cope with the Dallas front four, they've got a shot at this game. If not, they're in deep trouble. You know about the defensive backs, there's weakness there with Dallas.
Dallas leading the NFC in sacks. That's an unusual statistics for Dallas. Their mark of 28 on the season. It's 2nd down and 9. Ferguson is back, has the time, has the receiver, is Butler. He'll get it, pick up the first down.
My gosh,
wide open. Butler working down the sideline, working right in front of Dennis Thurman, who has to respect the speed that we spoke of a moment ago. Jerry Butler can really turn it on.
You got a good low-angle look. Butler, as you mentioned, Frank has got the speed here. Thurman, for some reason, really got turned around. That was not one of your real fancy moves. Butler just stopped, came back, and Dennis went to the inside.
The Cowboy corners. Everson Walls at one corner. Number 24 has 8 interceptions. Dennis Thurman has 6. But they have been victimized time and time again by the deep pass. On 1st and 10. Ferguson, short drop, quick pass, Cribbs, incomplete. Right in front, a strong safety, Charlie Waters. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
But that's the key to it. Against the Dallas flex defense, if you're going to cope with that front four, you don't run on 1st or necessarily 2nd down. And Chuck Knox knows that. He's a brilliant coach. And Tom Landry knows that Chuck Knox knows that. But that's going to be, in the long run, the key to this football game. Stripped, as I said, of all frills, all over analysis.
Key matchup, left side, 73, John Borchett at left guard against number 54, Randy White. Reggie McKenzie, of course, watching this game with a damaged knee for Buffalo. It's 2nd down and 10. Cribbs, single setback. Again, lots of time. And complete. Frank Lewis down the sideline. Frank Lewis will have a Buffalo first down. He'll be down close to the 35-yard line, and the youngster that was victimized once again is Everson Walls, who leads the NFL in interceptions, but he does make the mistake.
Why he leads with interceptions is he tries for the interception instead of playing the man. You see him just a little bit late. I think Everson is finding out there's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL can throw a lot harder balls than he was used to seeing down the ground.
30-yard pickup. Buffalo began at their 20-yard line. They're at the Cowboys' 35-yard line. Jerry Butler split left. Picked up. Single coverage by Dennis Thurman.
Somebody messed up.
Ferguson. Mess up in the backfield, and Ed Jones, who is having perhaps his best year of his spectacular career, was right there, and he ran Ferguson down from the left side.
That might be a key, Frank. You talk about the front four. I don't necessarily agree with all that passing on first down against the flex and running, but that's not what I hear. The thing that they really try to do is get those front four guys to working. And Ed Jones is the guy that, according to the coaches and what I've really seen him play, he is having the kind of game and the kind of year that they expect for him. Everybody double teams Randy White in the middle. They better look out for Ed Jones.
Loss of 3, 2nd down, 13. Lewis right, top of your screen. Ferguson again with the time, fires incomplete over the middle. Intended there to Bramer, the tight end, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down long. We'll see the defensive change on the part of the Cowboys. They take out all 3 of their linebackers. They bring in Anthony Dickerson, number 51, tremendous defensive linebacker. They bring in Benny Barnes and Steve Wilson, and that is their defensive set.
Well, you just looked at Chuck Knox, Giff, who turned this Buffalo team around in what seemed record time until Bill Walsh did even better this year up to this point with San Francisco.
How about those Niners? They're tough.
3rd down, 13. The 3rd wide receiver for Buffalo. It's number 81, Ron Jesse, the single setback. Working out of the backfield, as we see now, the Bills in the shotgun will be Cribbs. Pressure. Flag is down. Pass intended for Frank Lewis. Michael Downs, one of the 2 rookies in that secondary for Dallas, was back there defending, but a flag is down far downfield where we usually will get the interference, and in this case the holding call against Dallas. And Buffalo will have another first down.
Steve Wilson is a kid that comes in that nickel defense, number 45. He had a couple of brought him in. He was a kid that they kind of found out of nowhere.
Holding number 31 defense.
As I said,
Automatic first down.
Benny Barnes.
The first down is at the 33-yard line.
I'll never do that again, I promise. I tell you what, you can throw one on Wilson too, though. I got to tell you, they could.
23 interceptions Dallas has accomplished thus far this season, and would you believe that they are dead last in the National Conference against the pass? They have given up big plays. Curtis Brown, right side. Brown, a bull of a young man inside the 30, close to the 28-yard line. Everson Walls trips him up, but not until there's a pickup of 4 yards by Brown. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Not too bad for first down yardage.
Brown, who hurt his knee in a game we had earlier up in Buffalo, and we thought he was really going to be hurt. He's been troubled with it, but he came back last week, and in a 22-13 win over Cleveland, he had his best day of the season. So he is going to be much more help to Joe Cribbs beginning tonight and for the rest of the season. On at 2nd and 6 is Bramer, the tight end, adjusts. Brown, right side, finds an opening, stays on his feet. He's close to another Buffalo first down. And this is what Buffalo has lacked in the early going, somebody to complement Joe Cribbs, who has been forced to do much of the work while Curtis Brown, knee slowly started to come around. First down, Buffalo. Inside the Dallas 23-yard line. No score, 12 minutes remaining in the first quarter as the Bills have rattled off over 3 minutes now on the clock after having taken the open kickoff at their 20-yard line. Butler goes left. Frank Lewis, top of your screen. Brown to the wingback. Pressure, deflected. Middle linebacker Bob Bruning was there as Ferguson felt the heat coming from Harvey Martin and had to release it quickly.
Interesting play of Ferguson, don't you think, Don?
You mean the call, Howard?
No, not the call. This kid himself.
Oh.
The way he's developed, the way he produces, and yet the way somehow he's never gotten major publicity.
I think a lot of it has to do, you know, that Buffalo hasn't gotten really major publicity in the last few years until Chuck Knox came up there. But Joe's been having some pretty good years, but nothing to compare what he's had now that he's got Knox up there.
Ferguson now in his 9th year and certainly off to his best start ever. Joe Cribbs, right side. Dutton misses and Cribbs hurdles into the air. Hit there by Mike Hagman and bounced off Hagman and still makes yardage. One of the finest, most instinctive football players I think I've ever seen come into this game. Not only is he a good runner, but he is an excellent pass receiver. Let's watch him again. He does some miraculous things.
Little counter move, Frank. Start to the left, come back. They got Dutton, too. They got him to make that one step. Look at that ball come out, and it fell right just in the right place, didn't it? Had a fumble, and that's mean things are going your way. You like to see that early in the game, anytime.
That's one of your miracles.
That's right.
3rd down and 4. Well, you've got to be lucky to play this game also. The 3rd wide receiver, Ron Jeffrey, joins Frank Lewis, 82, Jerry Butler, number 80. Out of the shotgun.
Oh, trying to change the play there. Look out, look out, look out.
Here comes the blitz. Read by Ferguson. Butler's in the end zone, touchdown, and a beautiful change-up on the part of Ferguson, reading the one-on-one coverage against Steve Wilson. Touchdown, Buffalo.
That's what I meant about Ferguson. He can make it work, and this kid's got the speed, the moves.
The thing that Dallas did, of course, you see in the middle, that's Tony Dickerson. That's they put a full rush on him, and they did leave him man-to-man out there. The ball was really not that well thrown. It's the kind of pass that the receiver has the advantage because he can adjust before the defensive back does. Not particularly well played, however, by Wilson.
Jerry Butler, that's his 7th touchdown of the season. Nick Mickemeyer on for the conversion for Buffalo. To the uprights. And the Buffalo Bills on the scoreboard. They lead 7-0, and they riffled off 4 minutes and 15 seconds of the clock here in the first quarter. You're right on this, Don. It's very tough. You got to respect the speed of Butler. Wilson looks him right in the eye, has to turn around too late.
If it had been a good pass, Frank, I think Wilson was in a pretty good position to knock it down. The ball was thrown a little bit to the outside, and we're going to be right back in just one moment.
There's a new name on the road, a whole new concept of travel. It has style. It has comfort. It has economy. Its name,
Nissan Stanza.
Nissan Stanza, the new name in style. Not just dynamic, aerodynamic. Today at your Datsun dealer.
Nissan Stanza.
Nissan Stanza in 2- or 4-door models. The new name in comfort. 5-passenger big. Headroom, legroom.
I can cross my legs.
Nissan Stanza.
Nissan Stanza, the new name in performance. Front-wheel drive powered by a 2-liter Road Eater.
I've got power for passing.
Nissan Stanza, the new name in economy.
We fly past the humps.
If it's at your Datsun dealer, you know it's good on gas. Nissan Stanza. Remember the name.
Datsun, we are driven.
Buffalo, cool, calm, poised, collected. They're not overawed by America's team. As a matter of fact, as we look at James Jones, deep for the Dallas Cowboys, Conrad Dobler says, America's team, my foot, our uniforms, red, white, and blue, they wear those funny gray suits. Dobler, little respect for the Cowboys. Mickemeyer set to kick. The Cowboys have not been successful, either running kickoffs back or on their punt returns. From the 2-yard line. Jones barrels up out over the 30-yard line to the 31-yard line. Rod Cush there defensively, and the Dallas offensive unit, and I hope they've been stretching their legs as they come on, being led by Danny White. Buffalo, 4 minutes and a little over 15 seconds to run off a 7-point lead in the opening minutes here in Dallas. Danny White will have Tony Dorsett, of course. Tony Dorsett to retake the lead from George Rogers of New Orleans tonight. Will need 69 yards to retake that lead. Earl Campbell, by the way, went over 1,000 yards yesterday for Houston. Dorsett. And he's upended after a yard pickup. Chris Keating defensively there, filling in. And tough shoes they are for Shane Nelson. But Chris Keating there defensively for Buffalo.
Well, Frank just touched on the key to the Buffalo defense tonight. They're a swarming defense founded upon the famed Bermuda Triangle. Smirlis, Haslett, and usually Shane Nelson, now probably out for the season. Chris Keating, a kid from Maine, on injured reserve with a bad back, passed through waivers, and the Bills have brought him back.
Second down and 9. Stacked backfield intended for Drew Pearson, incomplete. It'll be third down long. We'll see the offensive and defensive changes that are so characteristic now of pro football. Situation personnel, I guess you could call it. Third down long for Danny White. Wide receivers are Tony Hill, number 80, his second consecutive 100-yard game a week ago in a big win for Dallas over Philadelphia. Butch Johnson is in there, number 86. Drew Pearson, number 88, and a dangerous wide receiver who works also at tight end is Jay Saldy, number 87. From the shotgun. Danny White with a lot of time, and he tries to time it out to Drew Pearson. And it'll be fourth down. And whereas Buffalo ran off over 4 minutes, Dallas has the football, their first possession, less than 1 minute.
They didn't run it off, they riffled.
That was not a very smooth little offensive set of plays, I would say.
Danny White jokingly is kidded about wanting to lead the league in passing and punting as we look at Roland Hooks, 25, Byron Franklin, number 85. Good kick by Danny White. Puts Roland Hooks back at the 20-yard line. And good coverage by the special unit. Hooks brings it out to the 26-yard line, and Buffalo will have their second possession of the game. Talking proud. Indeed they are. We've been to Buffalo twice this year. They love their football team, and it's really kind of added an inspiration to that community. We'll be back.
You're cutting a ship out of a mountain of steel, and you don't stop until you hear that sound.
It's Miller time. Let's go.
Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear.
Miller High Life. America's quality beer since 1855.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. If you've got the time, Miller's got the beer.
Saturday, magical doubleheader action as Alabama dazzles Penn State, plus other games. Then Arkansas and Texas A&M headline more regional action. NCAA Wizardry, Saturday.
Joe Ferguson negotiated the Bills 80 yards in their very first possession. They lead 7-0, 9:36 remaining in the first quarter from Texas Stadium in Irving. Ferguson coming off a 297-yard game against Cleveland. We saw him earlier in the year against Miami, a 338-yard night then. He likes pressure. Buffalo from their 27-yard line. Movement, you saw it, flags all over. Buffalo goes ahead and runs off their play, but it did appear as if the offensive line dropped into their pass set before the ball was snapped.
And even though the play won't count, it wasn't a surprise. They once again threw right at Everson Walls.
Ball start, number 72, offense.
Call it on Ken Jones. It could have been the entire left side of the line.
Well, you can see as you look at the officials, Gordon McCarter, Ron Botchman,
Ball start.
France, and Jack
Number
Petty.
72 offense. Still first down.
Interesting contrasting coaches, by the way. Landry now in his 22nd year, while Chuck Knox took over Buffalo in '78 after 5 division-winning years with the Los Angeles Rams. Knox inheriting a 3-11 team. In 3 years, he won the division. Cribbs. And Joe Cribbs struggles forward to about the 24-yard line. It'll be second down at about 12 as Randy White was there defensively, and that again will be a matchup that will be a key one tonight for Buffalo. Young John Borchette replacing Reggie McKenzie at left guard for Buffalo. His job tonight, one of the toughest in the business, Randy White.
Yeah, but he'll get help from Will Grant. They'll be double teaming Randy, who may be the single finest defensive lineman in football. They'll be working on him double teaming all night.
Second and long. Frank Lewis, top of your screen. Ferguson, Joe Cribbs. And Cribbs gets yardage up close to the 35, short of the first down by a couple. He was working against Dennis Thurman, D.D. Lewis, number 50, out there trying to help for Dallas.
Chuck Knox's game plan openly clear. Take advantage of the weakness of that Dallas secondary. Throw under the defense when you can take advantage of that, and look for the long ball when you can take advantage of that.
Curtis Brown comes out on a 3rd down and 2, and they bring in the 3rd wide receiver, and they will go from the shotgun.
Dallas didn't change their defensive alignment.
Cribbs, inside handoff, right side. He's in trouble. Down goes Cribbs. Fine defensive play by the rookie from Grambling, Everson Walls.
Must have known what they were doing, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They do break it down. It's amazing. They have a 3rd down situations. They know when to bring those guys in.
And the defensive unit of the Dallas Cowboys is given a rousing ovation as they leave. Greg Cater comes out for Buffalo. There he is, averaging a little over 43 yards a punt, while James Jones will drop deep. And the point I made earlier about the kick return, as we looked at Jones, the longest punt return the Cowboys have made this season, 14 yards. The league leaders are averaging better than that. The longest kickoff return they've had is 30 yards. The league leaders are averaging better than that on kickoff returns. It is a weakness for Dallas. Cater, he doesn't turn over, end over end. This is Jones. Jones hammered at the 35-yard line. Dallas will have good field position following a 36-yard punt. Once again, Rod Cush.
Got to get him early
for Buffalo. Well, it's a little earlier here in Texas. The youngsters are out. We'll be back.
People trust Seiko technology for bold sports watches that perform brilliantly, even 100 meters beneath the sea. People trust Seiko for slim dress watches with every timekeeping function you'll probably ever need. People trust Seiko for watches that are as finely crafted as they are technologically advanced. In fact, people trust Seiko more than any other watch. At your authorized dealer.
Suddenly, everyone's building high-mileage cars. But this is no Johnny-come-lately. It's the Datsun 210 from Nissan, a company making high-mileage cars for 50 years.
But economy is not our only mission. We build tight seams, solid doors, reliable engines. So if you're shopping for more than mileage, buy a Datsun.
We weren't born yesterday.
Wednesday, Lee Majors is Hollywood's hottest stuntman, the Fall Guy.
7:42 remaining in the first quarter from Irving, Texas. Buffalo leads Dallas 7-0. Dallas with a 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Dallas needs a win tonight to stay tied with Philadelphia in the AFC Eastern Division. Buffalo needs a win to stay a half game behind Miami in the AFC Eastern Division. That on the line tonight. Dorsett. Dorsett is hammered right at the line of scrimmage. He may have squeezed a yard out, but that was about it. Second defensive rating right now in the AFC, Buffalo. They were first overall last year.
I'm sorry, Giff. If you can stop TD, then you can beat the Dallas Cowboys. That's Cush on the Buffalo side. A growing defensive back, a good specialty teams player, a growing football player.
They give Dorsett a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Springs. And on Springs just ducked his head down. He got lucky, found an opening, and he gets out over the 40, close to the 42 for a pickup of 7. Bill Simpson finally made the defensive effort for Buffalo. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
I thought the tackle by Walls on that 3rd down situation that forced Buffalo to punt was a key early game play.
Certainly was. If they've not been able to stop them there, they've kept the drive alive. Of course, Dallas needs to get a little offense generated here and there.
3rd down 3. This is the question mark yardage against Buffalo. They're very strong against the run. Movement, and we get a flag.
That's there, golly.
Kicked off. But it could be a Buffalo offside, and now we have another flag as Bill Simpson negotiates his way back to midfield. Flag down at the line of scrimmage and a flag down far downfield in the Buffalo secondary.
I thought Buffalo was offside. We may have offsetting penalties.
Again, our referee tonight, Gordon McCarter. Billy Joe Dupree listening in, and here's the call.
Our defense, illegal block above the waist from behind on the receiving team.
Well, I believe that would constitute offsetting penalties if Dallas is presumed to be the receiving team.
No, I think it's 2 penalties against Buffalo, so they'll take the first one, which is going to be your offside.
Well, it just wasn't stated perhaps properly.
That's nice, isn't it? Reggie McKenzie. Shut up him right there. Awfully nice man. How about Reggie?
Remarkable number of people down from Buffalo for this game, Don.
Really is. I've been made aware that there's several groups of 50 and more that are down here. That's nice. They're getting behind those Bills up there in Buffalo.
Come from Williamsville, from Amherst, from Hamburg.
They're talking proud. They know then, and they're standing up.
1st down and 10. Dallas, their own 47-yard line. Both penalties were against Buffalo. Legal push and offside, and here comes Dorsett. Dorsett again, shut down at the line of scrimmage, and maybe gets a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Young man, if he can accumulate the few yards that he needs tonight to go over 1,000 yards, will have done it for the 11th time in his career, going back to high school days in Pennsylvania.
Needs 69 gift to pass George Rogers, who had that brilliant 161-yard day yesterday against the Rams.
Put it in perspective, that's over 8.5 miles that Tony Dorsett has carried a football. 2nd and 8. Cosby complete inside the 35. 1st down, and the big man who made a key reception against Philadelphia of 17 yards and a TD a week ago has given Dallas a 1st down inside Buffalo's 35.
Terrific job of the offensive line this time, keeping everybody spread to the outside. Look how wide that pocket is in the middle. You can kind of sense something's going to open up. Sure enough, it did. Right across the middle. There's Cosby.
3rd-round draft pick in '79, and perhaps the best receiving tight end of the 3 that the Dallas Cowboys possess. Billy Joe Dupree, only 9 receptions on the year. That's Cosby's 10th. Billy Joe, of course, the starter. Dorsett, little opening, but taken right at the 30-yard line after a pickup of 3. Defensively, Isaiah Robertson. There's Isaiah, played several years with Chuck Knox, division-winning years with the Los Angeles Rams. Traded to Buffalo in 1979. Really didn't fit into the conformity they expected out of Los Angeles. He's sort of a free spirit back there defensively, and consequently, he's got a lot of interceptions. We've got a 2nd and 8. With 4:13 remaining in the first quarter. Buffalo on top 7-0. Dorsett. Little delay action. Fooled at no one. And Dorsett is held to about a half a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
They're really closing in on it.
They are. That hole closed up. They've only given up 2 touchdowns rushing all year, and that's a pretty good indication.
Which tells you something.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the one time they used Ron Springs, he burst through for 7 yards. Obviously,
somebody's looking for Tony, don't you think?
If they're not, we've got a scoop.
Somebody in the Bermuda Triangle is looking for T.D. Dorsett.
3rd down 7. Butch Johnson in, number 86. He, of course, the 3rd wide receiver and a gifted one for Dallas. Steps back into the pocket.
Intercept.
Flag is down as Simpson comes up with it in the end zone.
I think we've got an interference call, though, Frank. Flag's down.
If the flag is down there, that's what it figures to be.
Obviously, somebody was knocked off the pattern because Danny White just hung it high. That's the call against Buffalo.
Butch Johnson was the intended receiver. Butch had what I thought was a rather interesting quote in the paper the other day.
Did you notice that?
What?
He could play for any other team. Start.
That's what they were saying. Let's see what he says here.
Illegal contact. Number 29 defense. Automatic 1st down.
Mario Clark. 1st and 10 Dallas, 25-yard line, Buffalo.
His comment was this. Butch, you can start for a lot of clubs in the league. You know, does that bother? He said, yeah, I want to play, of course. He said, but I think I can handle not starting, and I'm not sure Tony Hill can.
Tony Dorsett. Flag is down as Dorsett gets inside the 20-yard line. Good effort cutting back against the grain. But again, that flag is down. Usually you get the holding call, and we've got a scuffle.
Tell you, Chuck's got him fired up.
I tell you, Rome's made a good tackle a while ago. You maybe remember that other 2 drives ago, 2 plays ago. He's the one that's kind of fired up right now. Charlie Rome.
By the way, I think Butch Johnson is right.
Well, I thought it was an interesting comment talking about Tony because Tony has started the last couple of weeks. Had a couple of
holding. Defensive nose guard. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 29 defense.
Mario Clark, unsportsmanlike conduct. The nose guard is Fred Smirlis. Compounded penalties by Buffalo. There is the pile up a moment ago and a little extracurricular activities at the bottom of that pile, like right there. They called that on Mario Clark. That was actually Charlie Rome's.
That's right.
It's an expensive penalty.
You know what? Romes thought that Dorsett was the one that hit him, and actually it was his own teammate that hit him in the head.
Defensive holding was declined. Unsportsmanlike conduct accepted. 1st down, goal to go.
2 critical mistakes by Buffalo in the form of penalties. Tom Landry sporting his 4th new hat of the season.
You're sure of that?
Yes.
1st down, goal to go. Ball inside the 10-yard line. Dorsett, 33. Springs, 20, the setbacks. Dorsett. And Dorsett down to the 6-yard line. Carrying Lucius Sanford, and now we have another flag that is down. This time, the Buffalo players were indicating it's going to work against Dallas, and indeed it does.
They got Drew Pearson that time coming across. Looked like he took a shot at Mario Clark.
The intensity of Chuck Knox.
If you're going to be a coach, you better be intense. And he is one of the finest. What a turnaround up in Buffalo. Rattled off against Dallas, up to the 17-yard line.
Illegal use of the hands, number 88 defense or offense. Repeat 1st down.
Drew Pearson, number 88, watch.
One of those unnecessary ones, Frank. You don't really need to do this. He's coming across trying to...
Pretty obvious.
No, here it comes right here.
Looks like you the other night, Howard.
Yes.
Well, you got to watch those boxing matches. I'm going to keep you out of the ring, pal.
I'm quick. I can get under the table quickly if I got Larry Holmes with me.
All right, putting this back into perspective, there is 3:01 remaining in the first quarter. On the sidelines, Chuck Knox's exercise. He called the officials over there to talk it over with them. And now there's a discussion out on the field. The ball has been brought back to the 17-yard line.
Chuck is arguing
he wants to loss it down.
No, he's arguing that it should have been brought back from the line of scrimmage.
Oh. Well,
number 88 was unnecessary roughness.
Right.
The down counted. It will be second down.
Oh, you're right.
Must assess 15 yards instead of 10.
And Chuck Knox is exactly right.
Dan Darrow.
You act surprised. I'm surprised that you're surprised.
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm just awestruck.
I am flabbergasted.
Oh, well. I've been staying up late lately, reading my rule books and things like that.
I hope we don't have a pass interference.
I'm getting better on that, too. I really am.
I'm getting totally confused this year.
Well, that's why I'm getting so much better about it, because they can say most anything now and it fits.
22-yard line. Here's the situation. 3:01 remaining in the first quarter. Buffalo on top, 7-0. The ball at the 22-yard line of Buffalo. Second down and goal to go. Dorsett adjusts back into the I. That's where he likes to run from. And Dorsett picking along until he finds the opening. Bursts through it and gets back to the 12-yard line. Ben Williams there defensively. So it will be third down and goal.
That's the way to open up some running room for Tony.
Yeah, but Buffalo let him open it up. You're sitting back there on a second down situation, and you got 20-something yards to go to make a touchdown, and you can't make a first down. They're going to give him a lot of that running room on that second down and long. Now it's third down and
truth
still
to that.
Well, of course there's truth to that. I'm telling the truth, man.
You're hot.
Tell it like it is.
You're hot tonight.
No, not necessarily.
Dallas in a passing situation, and the one improvement Buffalo has made defensively, that is rushing the quarterback. Thus far tonight, they've been unable to get to White. He goes on a quick count. Wide open is Doug Cosby, and a beautiful move by Cosby. He had to get into the end zone. It was third and goal, and Cosby did just that. And for the second consecutive week, Cosby with a key play.
Let's watch this. This looks like a terrific reception. Pretty good defensive coverage. Wham.
Here's where he proves himself. Breaks away from the tackle. What a player he's become.
Yeah, Rufus Best was the defensive safety who hit him but didn't knock him off his feet. He's one of your great big old boys.
Raphael Septien with Charlie Waters holding. 2:05 in the first quarter. Septien looking to tie it up. He does. We've got a tied football game. Sloppy action in the closing minutes of the first quarter, but the Cowboys get it into the end zone.
From the other side of the field, reverse angle. Let's take another look at the touchdown. Danny White flipped it in. He actually was pretty open right there. You'll see Best come in, number 28. Didn't quite knock him off his feet. Steve Freeman overran it a little bit. Stayed right there on his feet and scored.
Tell you, Best is 5'9". Cosby is 6'6", so maybe you can't fault him too much. We'll be back.
Everybody used to work here very late. No more. Because of this. It is TV. It's typewriter. It is Lanier's Easy One.
Lanier's new Easy One work processor. Now it's so easy to zip out accurate reports, memos, letters. Easy to maintain lists. Easy for your total business to perform like it should.
But will it do Windows?
The new Easy One from Lanier. We make your good people even better.
Place won't be the same without you, Helen.
I could stay on a few more years.
Many Americans retire with only a gold watch. Century, one of the country's largest insurance companies, is helping corporations offer employees more. Century developed Retired Lives Reserve, a benefits package that provides life insurance and peace of mind that continues even after retirement.
Helen, all's well that ends.
well.
All's well that begins well.
With Sentry, you know all's well.
The Dallas Cowboys move from their own 34-yard line. The series of penalties, helping, then hurting, and then finally a fine catch by Doug Cosby to tie it up at 7 apiece. Septien hits it. Byron Franklin is deep, and he'll take the ball at the 3-yard line. And Franklin found it, and he may have turned it loose unless they ruled it dead. No, Dallas has recovered as Byron Franklin hit hard. Gave up the football.
Now, that's the rule that's the hardest one for me to figure out, is that when the guy's got the ball and it's a fumble and when he doesn't. I mean, I really don't understand it. I thought he was down that time.
You mean, when is he down?
Now Buffalo is indicating that they have possession. We got one indication that it was a Dallas football, and now there's a discussion.
That's the very question being raised. You all had tonight, Don. Yep.
Buffalo retains possession. One ruling overruled by another official, and frankly, they better get control of this game.
Frank, as long as we've been on Monday Night Football, one of the interesting things, we just mentioned how Cosby has developed. Remember 3 years ago, the Hall of Fame game, we sat with Gil Brandt, director of player personnel for the Cowboys, and he said, watch this kid Cosby from Santa Clara, and we have watched him, and he's become a star.
He is that. Crowd doesn't like it. They saw the indication we saw, but nevertheless, Buffalo has possession at their own 24-yard line. Ferguson with a lot of time. Incomplete. The defensive play, 24, Everson Walls. He had to play through the man. It'll be pass interference. Jerry Butler, the intended receiver. That has to be timed out just perfect to make that play, and Walls was there early.
There's our guy, Doug Cosby.
Interference, number 24, defense, first down.
Everson Walls, he leads the NFL in interceptions, but he has been beleaguered. He just got there too early.
Yep.
I don't know.
No, he hit him. That was interference.
He'll give you something, and then he'll take it away.
Give you something, take it away. He's been breaking and not bending, though. He's got to bend more and not break.
Sage wisdom.
Right.
From Mount Vernon.
Well, you just got to play. You know, you're out there not trying to intercept every ball. You're supposed to knock a bunch of them down.
First down, 34-yard line. In and out of the hands. Curtis Brown, that ball was smoking. He couldn't have handled it. He was only about 10 yards away, and Ferguson had a lot of zip on it. It'll be second down and 10. Third-round draft pick back in '77. He's been a real steady performer. Curtis Brown, I already told you about the knee that's bothered him, but he apparently recovered completely against Cleveland, had a big day in a 22-13 win a week ago.
Frank, that Roosevelt Leaks hasn't been the guy that's moved in there in that fullback spot. They bring him in on short yardage.
And he is effective on short yardage. Second down 10. Ferguson gets it off. Flag is down, intended for Curtis Brown. Mike Hagman covering Brown, and it could have been a head shot to Ferguson that will get the call.
Sure could have been.
That's what it probably was.
Hold it.
Well, I'll tell you, the way they protect the quarterback, he took a pretty good shot of the head, did Joe Ferguson.
That was excellent coverage by Hagman, by the way.
It really was. Here's the headshot you're talking about, Frank. Again, I think the biggest rule changes that have occurred in the last few years have been ones that have left up to call judgment calls. They changed the blocking rules on the offensive line. That's a judgment call. Is he holding? Is he not? I guarantee you, I can look at. I think I can.
Holding.
Yeah.
Number 69, offense. Repeat, second down.
Conrad Dobler. Go ahead, Don.
I think you can see somebody holding on every play. I really, truly do.
I agree with you.
It's not a clearly defined penalty. Neither are these head slaps or how you protect the quarterback. What is the momentum when you hit a quarterback? It needs to be a little bit more clearly defined.
I thought that should have been offsetting penalties.
Second down and 20. Ferguson going for Butler, and Butler comes down with it. Butler running by Everson Walls, who was not in bad position.
He wasn't in good position.
No, he wasn't. What
Ron Fellows over
pass.
there in an inside-out position. Walls perhaps not getting the help he should have got. Let's look again.
Keep in mind that is Jerry Butler, one of the real speedsters in the league. He's already got him on a step right there. Emerson is trying to catch up. He had pretty good position.
He had good position. He just slipped.
He stepped on Butler's heel, it looked like, and tripped.
Hey, he must have reoccurring nightmares, Everson Walls, because he has been in the spotlight. He's been the hero. He's been the GOAT. Carmichael beat him for a big play a week ago in Philadelphia.
Fellows weren't there. It would have been a touchdown.
First down and 10 Buffalo. It's all tied at 7. Final minute of the first quarter. This is Joe Cribbs, and he's upended. Gets to the line of scrimmage, and he's roughhoused a little bit by Randy White. Yeah, Market right at the line of scrimmage.
He's telling White off, but that's not going to help him.
No, I think if I would do, I would just negotiate right there and say, talk to my attorney.
Check out his anniversary and send him a card.
That's right.
Quick glimpse of D.D. Lewis, labeled today in the Dallas Morning News the last of the old Dallas mistakes. D.D.'s last year has been a great, great play.
Second and long. Dallas likes to blitz on this particular situation. Here they come. And quickly, Ferguson reads it, goes to Bramer's tight end, but there was a full blitz on Ferguson.
Saw Charlie Waters coming in from his safety position.
And time has expired in the first quarter, and Joe Ferguson is mad at the tight end, Bramer, who probably did not read his automatic. He'll read it next time. We'll be back.
Whoa, little fella, where do you think you're going? We're going to get you back to your mama.
There you go.
We got them all. That means it's Miller time. Come on, I'm buying.
Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, Miller's got the beer.
Why have over 1 million people replace their brakes at Midas? Was it because they know Midas has brake mechanics that are specially trained? Was it because they know Midas has the right brake parts in stock? Or was it because they know Midas has over 20 years experience under the car? Well, whatever the reason, it certainly was no accident. Get the Midas touch. Nobody else has it.
VX. Someday. Boy.
The awesome Datsun 280ZX.
Someday.
You don't waste a single drop. Neither does my Datsun diesel.
The 1982 Datsun King Cab Diesel. More mileage than any gas-powered truck. And more cab room than any compact diesel.
Datsun, you sure make it tough on your competition. I like that.
Datsun Diesel.
From one top customer to another, we are driven.
Edge for Buffalo. Why are the teams then tied? Because time possession's relatively equal. Penalties have killed the Bills, and they deserve them.
Bills have a third and long yardage. Ball at the 38-yard line as we begin second quarter action. 3 wide receivers are in. That means Ron Jesse joining Frank Lewis and Jerry Butler. Out of the shotgun. Ferguson. Butler's there, and Butler comes down with it. Good play by Butler. He was working against Dennis Thurman. He was getting help from Michael Downs. Butler read it perfectly. First down, Buffalo.
I wish you could have heard Frank during the commercial break. He said, I wonder when they're going to go to work on Dennis Thurman. And Frank was exactly right in his anticipation. They've been chewing up Walls, and the Dallas secondary weakness is being openly exposed tonight. Right there was Dennis Thurman. Big play.
They mark it right on the 10-yard line. There is the speed, sir. He's frightening for a cornerback, particularly if you do not have help. He has blinding speed. Joe Cribbs, he's going to put the ball in the air, and the man is right there. It's Curtis Brown.
Beautiful.
Touchdown, Buffalo.
That was a lovely play. They got Charlie Waters that time. Very aggressive defensive safety. Made his move up, saw his mistake, couldn't recover quickly enough.
I think this is evidence of how beautifully Chuck Knox prepares a team for a game.
He does seem to have them pretty ready, doesn't he?
Tell you a little bit about the versatility of one Joe Cribbs.
He can run, he can throw, he can catch. And this time he's going to throw.
A throwback to another era.
That's right.
Okay, guys.
That was lovely.
Mickemeyer on for the conversion. Buffalo has retaken the lead. Matt Robinson will hold. So Buffalo has struck quickly here in the second quarter with less than a minute expired. Buffalo, they need a win tonight to stay within a half game of Miami. We'll be back.
This life isn't for everybody, but for me, nothing beats it. And nothing beats my skull either. I just take a little pinch and put it between my cheek and gum. Sure feels good. I think going smokeless is the only way to go. And for me, Walt Garrison, this is the only way to live. Try going smokeless with Skoal, Copenhagen, or Happy Days. A pinch is all it takes.
I recently had an operation on the nerves in my face. If one was accidentally cut, my face could have been paralyzed. In order to see better, the surgeon used a new scalpel that reduces bleeding by sealing off blood vessels with heat as it cuts. A special heat-resistant plastic developed by Phillips Petroleum insulates the blade and helped make all this possible, including my smile.
Caring for your car and more. That's performance from Phillips Petroleum.
Joe Cribbs to Curtis Brown. Last week against Cleveland, Cribbs caught 3 touchdown passes, and he turned into a passer on us tonight. Buffalo out in front, 14-7. Set to kick off Mickemeyer, deep. James Jones, number 23, stations himself right at the goal line. Mickemeyer whacks it, and this will be Timmy Newsom. And the big one out over the 25 to the 28, where it'll be first down and 10 Dallas. A reminder, college football this Saturday beginning at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Alabama against Penn State as Bear Bryant tries to tie Amos Alonzo Stagg's all-time winning record of 314 victories. Iowa versus Wisconsin, that's an important Big Ten battle. In the 3:45, the second half of a doubleheader featuring an important Southwest Conference game, Arkansas against Texas A&M, and also you'll see an important Pac-10 game. Could have Rose Bowl implications. Washington State is right there as they go against California. Check the local listing for the game and the time near area college football coming up Saturday. First down and 10. Danny White. Cosby's wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Drops the football. Picked up quickly was Charles Romes. Now it's batted away again. And Ron Springs.
I love it.
Ron Springs.
Cosby was the first one to point back that we got it. Oh, that's funny.
Cosby fumbled the ball. Charles Romes picks it up, and Ron Springs winds up with it.
What a break from Dallas, though. Opportunistic. They deserved it. But what a break, because Buffalo would have been beautifully positioned and could have opened up this ball game.
What are the statistics you think of with the odds of that happening, man? They beat some odds there.
Freeman knocked it out of the hands of Cosby. And then it was Kurt Peterson, the right guard for Dallas, that knocked it out of the hands of Charlie Romes. And Dallas has the football. First and 10, their own 43-yard line.
If I was Buffalo, I'd start getting worried, I think.
Hey, this is fun. I hope you're enjoying. Saldi in motion.
Oh, what a good block he made.
Back to the inside, and Saldi cracking back did make a terrific block inside. 3-yard pickup. It'll be second down and 7.
There's Joe Cribbs, who can do everything. But don't be happy, Joe. That break that just turned against you, it's going to live through this game. And Dorsett just went over 1,000 yards.
The only player ever to do that in the National Football League. His first 5 seasons, over 1,000 yards. He had been the first one to do it in 4 seasons, and Earl Campbell yesterday with 97 yards joined Tony Dorsett with having done it his first 4 seasons. No flag. Dorsett skips along the line of scrimmage till he found that opening, short of the first down, but just by a yard.
He's beginning to get yardage now. What a remarkable guy. The way he's settled down, the way he's matured. Watch how quick he is right here.
Smirlis made a little false move. He was the guy that almost was offsides. Tony saw that one blocked up. He does have amazing quickness. He's got to have a lot of it going for him if he can do the record that Frank just mentioned.
You saw Tom Rafferty, 64 with the block. Dallas has lost two centers, John Fitzgerald and Robert Shaw. Rafferty had been playing right guard. He is now the center, while Peterson is the right guard. Danny White looks over third down and 1. The handoff is to Springs. Springs piled up, but it does look as though he has the first down.
Yeah, he's got it.
As long as we're applauding extra special efforts to Don Shula, who won his 200th victory yesterday to become the 4th coach in the history of this game to do so. Shula with his win over New England yesterday.
Way to go, Don.
He's a remarkable fella, period.
It was funny, the PR guy before Dallas played him was saying, but we have 20 players here in Miami that have less than 4 years experience. And of course, Irma Allen, who knows much, but he said, wait a minute, Dallas has 22 players.
9 rookies.
They have 22 players with less than 4 years experience.
And younger.
Uh-oh. Now, this has happened a lot this year. Get a little confused and have to waste a timeout.
So Danny White calls timeout. The Cowboys no longer signal their plays in. They send them in with personnel. This time there was a mix-up. We have timeout, and we'll be right back.
The new veal parmesan specialty sandwich at Burger King is delicioso.
Oh, just wait until you see our new delicious specialty. Tasty tender veal, topped with sauce and cheese. Try it, you'll love every bite. Go on, try it, delight your appetite. It's smothered with sauce and dripping with cheese and loaded with veal. May I have a bite, please? No one can resist your parmesan as good as this. Make it special, make it Burger King.
It's probably no surprise that most automobile accidents are caused by careless drivers, a reckless few who push up the cost of everyone's insurance. So, if you're getting soaked by somebody else's carelessness, talk to your independent Safeco agent. After all, it's the people we don't insure that make Safeco such a good deal for those we do.
Does Randy Oakes finally get off? Can Scott Baio get loose? Why was Melissa Gilbert at the end of her rope? Battle of the Network starts November 20th on ABC.
Dallas with the best record against AFC teams, which have in previous years really dominated over the NFC. However, this year, with Chicago's win yesterday over Kansas City, the NFC has been victorious 14 times, the AFC 13 times, in case you keep track of those things.
Somebody does.
I do.
Well, we wouldn't have known if somebody did.
Got parity now.
Tell Baltimore that.
First down and 10, Dallas. 46-yard line of Buffalo. Play action by Danny White. Wide open is Billy Joe Dupree. And Billy Joe Dupree carries Mario Clark to the 21-yard line.
It's just beautiful the way Dallas uses their tight ends. They've got 3 of them. That man, Cosby, Jay Saldi, and each one first rate.
Beautifully executed play. Had a couple of guys wide open, but Billy Joe, of course, was really wide open down the middle. That's an old bootleg. That's been in the Dallas playbook since day one. And you do it on teams that really do pursue a lot. And that Bermuda Triangle, that 3-man rush, they really do try to go with that flow very quickly. Dallas that time rolled on the outside, had them wide open.
24-yard pickup. Dorsett is the single setback. Dorsett. Oh, he is taken there by Smirlis.
Made a good move, didn't he, around that middle? Smirlis is tough.
Boston College.
Can't be all bad.
Second-round pick a couple of years ago, and he replaced Mike Kadish. Took over that job as a rookie, and last year was a Pro Bowler. And rightfully so. He is so quick, and he carries about 270 pounds. They drop Dorsett right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and 10. In the second quarter, the Bills on top 14-7. Dallas moving. Dorsett. And Dorsett again hammered, this time at the 20-yard line. Sherman White sliding out there from his defensive right end position, getting help from Charles Romes.
That's that pursuit we were talking about while they read the bootleg was so open a while ago, but you saw that move as soon as Tony had the ball. They had really moved out. The whole unit. Sherman White was the guy that really was there in the beginning and turned it back in. Met some of his friends coming in to help him. Well, howdy. From where? Trempalou. Trempalou, Wisconsin.
3rd down and 8. We get Butch Johnson joining Drew Pearson and Tony Hill. Jay Saldy, 87, the wingback, and out of the shotgun. White fires and is picked off by Simpson in the end zone.
What up, dear? That Simpson's picked off 3 tonight, and only 1's counted, right?
Stepped right in front of Drew Pearson.
Well, this one counts, that's for sure.
I don't know whether he'll be able to see where Simpson come from, but he's playing the center field out there. Danny's not looking at him. He's looking at the man coming right there. I don't think he really saw Simpson. It would have been a well-thrown ball had Simpson not been there.
I'll tell you, Simpson is some story. When Cush and Nixon were hurt last year, they called Simpson back into action. He started 4 days later, and he hadn't played for a year. He'd flunked a medical exam. And right now he turns it over for Buffalo.
We'll open your eyes. You know what I like about this RCA remote control? It's pure power.
Roger, you're supposed to fix my bicycle.
I can turn the TV off or on.
Roger.
The volume down or up. And switch right to the channel I want.
Open your eyes to RCA's advanced 17-function remote system.
I'll tell Mom.
Unfortunately, it only works on the TV.
We'll open your eyes. Open your eyes. RCA.
Now there's a place where they have their own authorized mechanics, quality parts and service, and prices you can afford. Now there's K-Care, found only at Kmart.
When you can get a brake job, both front disc and rear drum, for less than some places charge just for discs, that's a value. Well, that's what the K-Care brake special is all about. For only $88, we'll do a front and rear brake job using Ray Vestas Manhattan quality parts. At that price, why do it yourself? That's K-Care, only at Kmart.
The Genius of Ray Charles on 2020 Thursday.
Brian Gifford with Howard Cosell, Don Meredith, watching a wild and woolly contest between the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys. 9:14 remaining in the first half. The Bills on top, 14-7, and Frank Bill Simpson has turned it over with the interception. The Bills 1st and 10 at their own 20. Curtis Brown carrying Big John Dutton out to the 25-yard line for a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. And Howard just touched on something during the commercial. The Bills only carry two quarterbacks, and the backup quarterback is who else? Bill Simpson.
How about punters?
He's the emergency punter. He's everything.
He's everything.
And he couldn't pass the physical. Remember how to sit out a year, Frank.
That's right. Bills do not always beat the Cowboys. They've only met twice, and the Cowboys have won both of those encounters. 2nd and 5. Curtis Brown. Brown got a fine block from Cribbs, and a flag goes down. Late flag, Bob Bruni, defensively there for Dallas on the tackle.
Dallas offense looks pretty quick. They're moving out there. They had a lot of guys out in front that time. That was a pretty play.
Holding Buffalo, that will negate a first down effort by Curtis Brown.
Penalties, as we said, are just killing the Bills.
Two highly explosive teams. So similar in character. They both shift their offenses around. They have speed on the outside. They have good movement by wide receivers.
Holding, number 86, offense, repeat 2nd down.
The tight end, Mark Bramer, holding.
Don't you get a sense in Chuck Knox's preparation for a game that the man is having fun as well as coaching done?
I do. Particularly we have a chance to visit with him. We've done 2 Buffalo games this year, and I've had a chance to visit with him a little bit. And he does seem to have a nice sense of play, and he doesn't take this thing too seriously, and he gets his players to perform. I like that.
2nd and 14. Ferguson had to hurry it past the Cribbs. It's incomplete. Harvey Martin was pressuring back there defensively. Anthony Dickerson, and he is so good on the pass.
He's the guy that a lot of people in the Dallas press, you mentioned D.D. Lewis a while ago, and D.D., this is his last year, but Dickerson's a kid that started at SMU, Whatever the problems were, he didn't make it there. Went to Canada, came back in here. He's a real speedster. They compare him a lot to Thomas Henderson. He's got the great speed, good quickness, and there was some speculation that he might have even started today for the one reason that they thought that he might have a pretty good chance of covering Joe Cribbs on those first down situations.
3rd and 14. From the shotgun. Ferguson, Cribbs, and Cribbs is hammered by whom else?
That's right.
Dickerson.
He's going to let him catch that one, but boy, he had him all the way. That was a good move, good back step. Cribbs made his move. Dickerson was right there.
And Buffalo, which may have been moving, but which had a first down negated by still another holding penalty, will have to turn the ball over to Dallas. Dallas will have good field position, and there's a limit to how long you can contain this Dallas offense.
7:58 remaining in the first half. Bills on top, 14-7. Great Cater to punt for Buffalo. Cater, and it doesn't turn over. Short kick. Jones from the 45-yard line. Quickly, he's taken at the 47 by Rod Cush. 36-yard effort by Cater, and Dallas has good field position. The offensive unit trots out, and we'll be returning to Texas Stadium in just a moment.
Another letter, Marge. Letter to Grant Hill.
You are witnessing the new Lanier Messenger at work. Its 4 microcassettes let you organize your thoughts and talk to your secretary even when she isn't there. You can dictate, record phone calls, set priorities, leave instructions, and get those important ideas off your mind and into action, so you have time for the tougher problems. The Messenger, new, revolutionary, and only from Lanier. Something's going on in the back of this economy car.
You can cross your legs in a Nissan Stanza.
The new front-wheel drive Nissan Stanza, only at your Datsun dealer. 5-passenger room in a high-mileage car.
I can cross my legs. We fly past the pumps. It feels like a limousine.
And I've got power for passing.
The affordable new Nissan Stanza at your Datsun dealer.
A magical doubleheader action as Alabama dazzles Penn State, plus other games. Then Arkansas and Texas A&M headline more regional action. NCAA Wizardry Saturday.
It's a chilly night in Dallas at kickoff. The temperature 47 degrees, and the Cowgirls have dressed appropriately.
I knew it wasn't Bojangles.
And they say it's going to drop into the 30s tonight.
Come on, it's below that now.
1st and 10 Dallas. They trail by 7. They have a first down at their own 47-yard line. Ron Springs, the single setback.
Tony D's out wide. Look at this one.
It's Ron Springs. And Ron Springs is taken from behind. It was Jim Haslett, the inside linebacker on the strong side for Buffalo. Dallas will show you so many formations. That time, much like Philadelphia uses Wilbert Montgomery, they had Dorsett split far to the left.
I don't think I've ever seen Dorsett split wide like that. Have you?
Well, not tonight. And I don't really remember, but it is kind of an unusual formation. But it didn't fool Buffalo, did it?
2nd down and 10. Now it's Dorsett, the single setback. Danny White.
Somebody run.
And hook sliding to the 41-yard line. He knew exactly where he was. He had the first down.
That's the key. He had the first down, and he went down self-protectively.
Talking about Danny, you said Frank jokingly wants to lead the league in punting and passing. It's no joke at all. He really does. We've said many times on the telecast what a really terrific athlete he is. But he was a shortstop in college, good baseball player, good all-around athlete. And he really is a good punter. What he does with that punting, he can place the ball, I think, maybe as well as any guy in the league right now.
Yeah, good breeding. His daddy, Wilford Whizzer White, All-American. Later played with the Bears.
Good athlete.
1st and 10. Dorsett. And Dorsett taken quickly by Chris Keating, recently activated, as we mentioned earlier, when Shane Nelson suffered a knee injury last week.
That's the kid we said to keep your eye on early in the game. The man who was given a man-sized job tonight out of Maine. Man who passed through waivers to get back on the roster, back damage, and he is holding his own tonight.
That was a loss of about 1.5 yards. It'll be second down, and we'll call it 12. Drew Pearson goes wide right. Tony Hill is left. Ron Springs coming out of the backfield, also a fine receiver, and flags low as the 30 seconds click off. And so many times this year, as I noted earlier, we have seen Dallas get this delay of game call.
It's really inexcusable, Don.
You take time getting the play in, and by the time you go through the numerous shifts that they go through, the motion people, that expires that 30 seconds rather quickly.
I think it's the one area.
Delay of game. Offense. Still second down.
Yes. Hear the call. I think it's one of the areas that Dallas is, you know, we've talked how innovative they've been in all these different offensive sets. You can sometimes outfox yourself. And I think a lot of that moving around sometimes doesn't really do anything to the defense. They're not going to react one way or another. They're going to set and play. And that may be one of the reasons they do have as many delay of the game penalties as they do.
Second down, 17. That's Butch Johnson in motion. Danny White, and he will go down. It was Rod Cush there first for Buffalo. And then it was Ben Williams, number 77.
But you mentioned Rod Cush, Frank, number 42. We talked about him before. Second-year man from Nebraska, Omaha. We characterized him as a developing, growing football player, and he is exactly that.
He's had troubles. He's actually a third-year man. He was injured reserve his entire rookie year with a bad foot, and then I mentioned the 5th game last year against San Diego. He was a starter, hurt his knee, and he's back and he's playing. Third down, 21.
He's the kid who had blood on his right hand. Picture taken earlier by Chet Forty on direct.
Danny White, pressure, Butch Johnson, and incomplete.
Good pressure.
Good effort by Charlie Romes, too. That could have been a play in which Butch Johnson could have come back for the reception. Romes kept his body between Johnson and the ball.
Key to that was he was hurried. White was hurried. And there is Frank's point. Had he been able to come back, or thought to come back, he might have had the ball. But Buffalo has contained Dallas again.
Danny White will punt. Dallas had their first down at the 42-yard line. And now White kicks from his own territory, looking for the corner. This is Roland Hooks at the 9-yard line. And Hooks has rained all over at the 12. 43-yard punt at the first man down there. One of those rookies from the Dallas Cowboys, Danny Spradlin from Tennessee. 4:40 remaining the first half. Buffalo remains on top 14-7.
Trust the leader in technology to forge a new legend, Seiko LaSalle. Trust Seiko to fuse slim elegance and peerless performance, new Seiko LaSalle. Trust Seiko to create timepieces destined for a place among the world's great possessions. Seiko LaSalle, miracles of slimness, marvels of technology. No wonder people trust Seiko more than any other watch. Seiko at your authorized dealer.
Here's to good friends.
Come on, guys, just 2 more floors.
You know, we heard apartments were hard to find. But the roof?
Well, the apartment's on the 3rd floor, but tonight. Yeah, well, you guys have been traveling all day, so we thought we'd pull out all the stops.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brown.
Here's to your exterior decorating. Let it be low and brown.
4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Buffalo has the football at their own 13-yard line. First down and 10. They have a 7-point lead, 14-7. They've never trailed. Curtis Brown tries the middle. Randy White, Bob Bruning there defensively. Where Dallas gets out over the 15-yard line for a gain of a couple. It'll be second down and 8. Restating once again the importance. Dallas a 7-2 record. Philadelphia with 8-2, a win denied by Dallas, and they stay tied with Philadelphia at 8-2. And for Buffalo, it's 6-3, a win tonight, and they will remain a half game behind the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins 7-2-1. Second down 8. Cribbs in motion. Ferguson, Butler's wide open. Everson Walls playing well off the speedy Butler. Comes up to make the tackle short of the first down.
He is well advised to do so, Frank.
But not by much. It'll be about a half a yard to go for the first on third down.
They are watching this game closely in the city of brotherly love, in the city of Miami, and in New York, where suddenly the Jets have come alive.
Richard Todd with a big day yesterday. Third down, just inches to go for the first. Cribbs high steps it easily for the first down and out over the 25-yard line. 3:45, clock is moving.
Don, you gotta love a player like Joe Cribbs.
I sure would like to have him on my side. He's a good one. He really can do a lot of things well. You know, Joe says, I don't know why anybody didn't know who I was. I was All-American. I did everything down and over. Why is anybody surprised I'm doing it up here? He
did it so well. He had almost 1,200 yards rushing. He had over 50 receptions a year ago, and he just picked up where he left off.
Yeah, he says, everybody says, boy, this is a real find. He says, I've been good for a long time.
A lot easier than Auburn. First and 10. Play action. Screen quickly out to Butler, and covered instantly by Dennis Thurman.
Now, Thurman played that beautifully.
Caught him in the defense, and he couldn't help but play it beautifully. They shifted over there. He didn't come off of it. They were set where that's where he had to be. He had some help that
By
time.
the way, I'm still waiting on the league decision, Frank, on that spearing charge against Dennis Thurman.
He had a couple of bad efforts last week. One against Wilbert Montgomery I thought was a little more blatant than the one against Jaworski, but I'm sure Jaworski wouldn't agree with me. It's second down and 11. Of course, anytime you have an incident like that, they take a long look at it, and there is the possibility of a fine. Ferguson under pressure, gets it to Cribbs. The flag is down, and Cribbs is close to another Buffalo first down.
Wonderful throw that time. He had some pressure, and he had that ball right on the money.
I think still another holding penalty. There it is.
You're right.
Holding.
Joe says, come on, give me a break, fella.
Oh, Buffalo has just destroyed itself with penalties.
That was a pretty pass, no matter if somebody was holding it. It had to do with the way Ferguson threw the ball. He did have the protection. I mean, he did not have the real good protection that time. And Butler was coming out. He caught it in good shape.
No way they can get this back, I don't think.
Well, there's, of course, some ways. What you're saying is...
Number 53, offense. Repeat, second down.
You just saw the graphic, which shows the real differential.
And holding, excuse me, Howard.
No, go ahead.
The holding call on Will Grant is an area that we talked about earlier. Will Grant is helping John Borchett on Randy White.
We talked about that earlier, how they would try to double team Randy.
Second down, 21. Ferguson again under pressure, gets it to Bramer, the tight end, and Bramer struggling, trying to get to the marker for the first down. He's short.
I'll tell you, he's amazing, Ferguson.
I think he kind of has adapted to this shotgun formation pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
According to Knox, he said if we didn't have the shotgun last year, he would have been able to play it all. He had a bad ankle in the playoff, but they do run it very well.
2-minute warning as Bramer comes up a couple of yards short of the first down. And when we come back after the 2-minute warning, it'll be 3rd and 2. Right now, this message from the National Football League.
I can remember when we were married. It was 2 years ago. It was the start of a new part of our lives.
Jim Haslett, will you have Julie Wood here present to be your wedded wife?
We were moving to Buffalo, starting my career in the NFL and accepting new responsibilities.
Will you have Jim Haslett?
But we wanted to do more than just live in Buffalo. We wanted to contribute to the community, to be part of it. That's why we both became involved as United Way volunteers.
We get out and visit agencies. We went to old folks' homes and helped them, and we've visited a lot of hospitals. We just, you know, we've been a part of the community, and then we're going to keep being a part of it.
We really believe in the slogan, thanks to you, it works for all of us.
The United Way.
You may kiss the bride.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by Jim and Julie Haslett of the Buffalo Bills and, of course, the National Football League. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Buffalo on top over the Cowboys, 14-7. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Buffalo's football at their own 34-yard line. This time, Buffalo, in a similar situation earlier, they were in the shotgun. You'll get a long count, looking for the offside. And Ferguson. And a short pass. Ron Jesse comes back for it. And Ron Jesse, working against Steve Wilson, gets the first down. That ball way underthrown, and Ron Jesse just came back and took it away from Wilson.
But are they taking advantage of that Dallas secondary? A veteran like Jesse knew when to come back for the football. Done, they're negating the Dallas front four. Do you agree?
Well, they really tearing him up right now. Again, he had, you know, there's a lot of reasons. What happened, that was a great play. They had some time to throw. D.D. Lewis was the rusher in there. They had plenty of time to throw. 101. Ball came back. They're getting plenty of time to throw. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. I'll get back to it in a minute.
What you're trying to say is a pass that should not have been thrown.
Well, it really shouldn't, as a matter of fact.
1st and 10. Lewis was there, and this time Everson Walls with a good defensive play.
Way to go, Everson.
The crowd holds its collective breath every time Everson Walls is in the area.
There was an applause that time.
I guess you could say that points out the plight of Everson Walls.
Up against the wall.
Easy.
I don't think I'll do the rest of it.
No,
Nice going, Everson.
Leave that to Willie.
That's right. No, it was Jerry Jeff.
2nd down and 10. That's the time remaining in the half. Here comes a safety blitz. And Buffalo picks it up. This is Bramer. Ferguson quickly calls timeout, stopping the clock with 53 seconds. As Bramer, far short of the first down, they will mark it at the 20-yard line. Buffalo now down to 2 timeouts. That time, a good pickup by the offensive line of Buffalo. They do protect Joe Ferguson
that's
very
the point
well.
I was making. We haven't seen the sacks thus far. We've got a long way to go. And the Ferguson passing is keeping that secondary totally off balance, and they are therefore in concert negating Dallas's great strength, the front four. Do you agree, Frank?
I do agree, in most part.
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure.
You mentioned the sacks. He's only been sacked 5 times throughout the season, and you saw a classic example of the way that team is coached. They picked up a safety blitz, and Ferguson was able to get the pass off.
Frank, when you look at their offensive line, it's got him Joe Devlin, okay? Will Grant, Ken Jones, John, I can't even say his last name.
Fortune.
Yeah. And the only one you've heard of is Conrad Dover. And St. Louis let him go. New Orleans let him go. So they must have some of those guys that we haven't heard much about are doing a good job up there.
They must be.
Yeah.
3rd down 7. That's Lewis in motion. Again the blitz, and again is picked up. And that leaves Jerry Butler one-on-one. And he gets the first down inside the 10, beating Dennis Thurman.
That's exactly whom he beat. Number 32, Dennis Thurman.
The key was the pickup on the blitz, though.
Sure was. And it's nice of Buffalo. They're not being greedy. They're picking on all of them.
This time, Ferguson, he couldn't get his troops organized. He'll use another timeout. He wants to make sure that he comes away with points. Buffalo now down to 1 timeout, 33 seconds remaining in the half. And Ferguson, who again read the blitz, knew that Butler would be, as is always the case with the blitz, would be one-on-one with Dennis Thurman.
I'll tell you, You are looking. And this game has a long way to go. And Dallas is a great football team. But this Buffalo team is absolutely brilliantly coached. This game thus far is a tribute to Chuck Knox. Look at Jerry Butler's stats: 7 receptions, 113 yards. A Clemson Tiger. And what a team they've got this year, Frank, at Clemson.
Yes, they do. And Butler is kind of amazed. He's not a big guy, but remember a couple of years ago against the Jets?
That was a joke.
5 touchdowns in that game. That's kind of how he broke in.
There's no hot air. Look at this one.
First down, goal to go, Buffalo. The ball at the 9-yard line.
It might have been warm air.
Look at that.
I understand that Steve Wilson has a sprained right ankle, and there'll be a determination as to whether or not he'll come back in later.
What a discrepancy in passing yardage.
On first and goal. Ferguson slips to his knees, hangs one up. It could be picked off.
What a mistake.
What a mistake.
Michael Downs, the rookie from Rice, and Joe Ferguson went to his knees. Nobody touched him. Hung the ball out for grabs. A scuffle breaks out as you get the penetrating look of Chuck Knox. Cannot be happy with this.
Ed Jones is hurt on this play a little bit. You see him come out of the play, number 72. And I don't know how he got hurt. Must have been hurt by his own player. That one should not have been thrown.
No, it should not have been. They had a sure 3 points at the very least. They come away with nothing, and they're going to have to live with that in the second half. It'll catch up with them.
Certainly was not coaching, though.
No, that was not coaching. That was just Dallas is dodging those silver bullets because they could really be a long way out of this thing already. It's just 14-7.
23 seconds remaining in the half, and quite sure the Dallas Cowboys will put it on the ground. They're going to regroup. Give the ball to Dorsett, who's a threat from anywhere in the field, but Dorsett is held for a couple. It will be 2nd down and 8, and we'll lose the seconds here in the second half.
Here's the other side. Going to take another look. Let's see what we can come up with. You see, hey, Ferguson tripped. He came right out of his shoe.
Well, it's his sock is the problem.
I tell you what, I've seen him knock them out of their shoes and their socks, but I don't blame him at all. He's got too tall coming in on one side, just lose your shoe.
I'll tell you.
Should not have thrown it.
Too tall coming in will blow your shoes right off.
If it doesn't, you got to
We'll be back with halftime after this message and a word from our local stations.